Exploring the UK, 30 places you must visit in 2024. The United Kingdom is loaded with beautiful places from the rugged Scottish Highlands to the honey-colored cottages of the Cotswolds. Whether you live in the United Kingdom and seeking staycation inspiration, or are searching for some Britain wanderlust, there's no shortage of breathtaking sights to see. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland all boast their own unique culture, making the region all the more exciting to visit. Without further ado, here are the most beautiful places in the UK. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Shaftesbury, England. Shaftesbury is a sleepy Saxon hilltop village sure to charm your socks off. The town's Gold Hill was made famous by the iconic Hovis bread advert from the 70s. But this cozy countryside gem is much more than that. From the quiet cobblestone streets to the relics of St. Edward the Martyr to the old Wardour Castle, Shaftesbury is like something from a storybook. Tintern Abbey, Wales. The Cistercian Abbey of Tintern is one of Wales' best ruins. This once thriving Gothic masterpiece dates all the way back to 1131 and has not stopped wowing since. While now in ruins, the decay of the area gives an incredible representation of just how much has happened in Wales in the 890 years since its formation. Set on the banks of the River Rye, forming the border between Monmouthshire and Gloucestershire, the scenery is beautiful. Chalcot Crescent, London, England. London has pretty streets aplenty, but our favorite is Chalcot Crescent. The slightly curved road of traditional Victorian townhouses takes you away from the bustling city and plants you into a pastel-hued storybook. Follow the crescent around the corner and you'll find Chalcot Crescent Gardens, a beautiful residential square of grand pastel houses with a children's play area on the green. It's the picture of chocolate box loveliness. Follow up a stroll around this beautiful area of London with a walk up Primrose Hill to take in the city skyline. Kynance Cove, England. Kynance Cove is a slice of Sardinia in Cornwall. Powdery white sand, breathtaking turquoise seas, and dramatic cliffs are just a few highlights of the area's stunning scenery. Stroll the scenic walk along the beach or explore the towering rock stacks at low tide before wandering the parlor cave to experience the true beauty of Kynance Cove. Don't forget a Cornish pastry at a local cafe. Clovelly Village, Devon, England. Walk into a village frozen in time when visiting the Clovelly, an Elizabethan beauty. Its location on the side of a 400-foot cliff above Bideford Bay treats residents and visitors to magnificent views. Walk the steep cobblestone streets and take in the scenery. While 500 people call Clovelly home, visitors do have to pay an entrance fee. Every penny goes towards the village and maintaining its Elizabethan charm. Gulligary Beach, Isle of Barra, Scotland. Save on the plane ticket to the Caribbean islands and find sugary white sand beaches and turquoise waters in Scotland. Isle of Barra is one of the southernmost Outer Hebridean islands. Those searching for remote, unspoiled beauty will leave happy. There's so much to fall in love with on this slice of paradise, or Paradisi, as the devoted fans of Barra like to call it. But Gulligary Beach will leave an irrevocable imprint on you. Dunnottar Castle, Scotland. Dramatic, evocative, and spectacular are just a few words to describe the tattered ruins of Dunnottar Castle. This clifftop castle soars high above the North Sea and was home to one of the most powerful and influential families in medieval Scotland, the Keiths. Steeped in history and legend, this castle is as interesting as it is visually stunning. High Force Waterfalls, England. Nestled in Upper Teesdale, you'll find what's reputed to be England's tallest waterfall, the High Force Waterfalls. The falls are part of the North Pennies, are of outstanding natural beauty, and it isn't hard to see why. The River Tees has been pouring over the famous rock seemingly since the dawn of time. For a place to stay and really get the full experience, we recommend High Force Hotel, Kinbane Castle, Northern Ireland. Just 8 miles from the iconic Carrick-a-Reed rope bridge, Kinbane Castle is a sight to behold. The focal point of a long sliver of limestone ledge projecting into the sea, this Northern Ireland castle is every bit as spectacular as it sounds. What really makes it so beautiful is the surrounding grounds of rugged green hills and wild foamy sea. Glenfinnan Viaduct, Scotland. Made famous by the Harry Potter series, the Glenfinnan Viaduct really is fit for the big screen. Situated at the head of Loch Shiel, Glenfinnan Rail winds through some of Scotland's most stunning scenery, from lush valleys to dense woods to velvety rolling hills. A ride on the train is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Not up for shelling out a ticket? No problem. The best views are from the outside. Tollymore Forest Park, Northern Ireland. Tollymore Forest Park is not only one of the most beautiful places to visit in the UK, it also holds the title of Northern Ireland's first state park. Just a hop away from Newcastle, Tollymore Forest Park is nestled in the heart of the Mourne and Slieve Croob area of outstanding natural beauty, a title that truly speaks for itself. Gower Peninsula, Wales. As the UK's first area of outstanding natural beauty, The Gower Peninsula is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful places in the UK, while northern Wales gets a lot of love for its dramatic scenery and coastline. This gem in the south of Wales is the picture of unspoilt beauty. Find dramatic limestone cliffs, wild moors, golden beaches, salt marshes, and wildlife-rich woodlands. About any natural landscape you can think of. Walkers in particular are fans of this area, although beach bums will love it just as much, especially with the peninsula's Rosslea Bay standing as a permanent fixture on best beaches in Wales list. The Shetland Islands, Scotland. Few places encompass the epic scenery of Scotland than its far north Shetland Islands. So far north, in fact, that they are closer to Norway than mainland Scotland. Here you'll find jaw-dropping coastlines framed by towering cliffs with rolling green fields and pristine beaches. Shetland is much more than a pretty face, however. It's also home to some of the most interesting Neolithic history in the nation. Dean Village, Scotland. Just a hop away from Edinburgh's Stockbridge neighbourhood, you'll find the ever-charming Dean Village. The list of must-see sites in Edinburgh is long, but Dean Village is firmly high on that list. In its heyday, Dean Village was a milling hotspot, and leftovers from this period can still be seen everywhere, paying homage to the baked bread and pies the mills gave way to. A stroll around Dean Village really does feel like stepping back in time. White Cliffs of Dover, England. Imagine a never-ending chalk-white wall standing proudly along the baby blue shores of the English Channel. And you've got the White Cliffs of Dover. These magnificent cliffs are a jewel of the UK coast and deserve to be visited by everyone at least once. The history of the area is just as dramatic as the cliffs, as they played a key role in the nation's defense system in both world wars. Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. Few things are more breathtaking and mind-bending than Northern Ireland's Giant's Causeway. Steeped in Celtic lore and myth, these iconic stones are known for their otherworldly basalt columns. Made up of more than 40,000 interlocked columns left over from a volcanic eruption, exploring the Giant's Causeway feels like exploring another planet. Conwy Castle, Wales. As one of the UK's most impressive examples of medieval architecture and with a fascinating history, Conwy Castle is a wonder. It was built by King Edward IV in order to control and conquer North Wales in the 13th century, and its many towers certainly give off an imposing essence. The colossal castle stands above the river, against a backdrop of rolling hills, combining medieval military architecture with a beautiful bucolic setting. Head to the highest tower for panoramic views across the mountains and out to the sea. Door, Dorset, England. The Jurassic Coast is chock full of wonder and ethereal spots, but none quite as stunning as Door. The famous stone arch was created when the sea shot through the Portland limestone some 10,000 years ago. Today it stands perfectly in the pristinely blue waters, attracting thousands of visitors a year to swim through or jump off the iconic arch. Loch Lomond and the Trossachs, Scotland. For breathtaking scenery in and around Great Britain's largest lake, by surface area, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs is the place to be. The name Trossachs refers to the romantic area of sparkling lochs, crumpled hills, sleepy forests, and welcoming villages. Whether you visit in summer when the hills are emerald green, or in fall when they bear a fiery orange under moody skies, you'll see why this place is truly a jewel of Scotland. Minack Theatre, Cornwall, England. Cornwall is full of surprises. Think the coastal region stops at incredible beaches, surfing, and hiking? Enter the Minack Theatre. The open-air theatre is perched on craggy cliffs, overlooking the thrashing Porthcurno Bay. Given the setting, you could easily convince yourself you've been plucked and dropped somewhere in the Med, but you're just a short drive from Penzance. You can visit the theatre at any time, but we highly recommend catching a performance to the full experience. Devil's Pulpit, Finich Glen, Scotland. Some places in Scotland are so ethereal that there's a sense of something otherworldly. It is a land of myths and legends, after all. Devil's Pulpit, a plunging sandstone gorge amongst the woodlands of Finich Glen, is one such place. The sandstone gives the rushing water a crimson sheen, which plays into the unique name of Devil's Pulpit, although it was actually nicknamed this for the mushroom-shaped rock that sits above the stream. Imagine the tales and stories that circle this enchanting sliver of Scotland, while the moss-covered cliffs paint the picture of another world. Three Cliffs Bay, Wales. Swansea Bay is home to a spectacular mashup of misty dunes, endless salt marshes, and giant limestone cliffs known as Three Cliffs Bay. From the epic sunrises and sunsets to the expanse of sea and tranquil marshes that surround it, it's easy to see why it's one of the most photographed areas in Wales and one of the most beautiful spots in the UK. Castle Combe, the Cotswolds, England. The Cotswolds is full of chocolate box villages to discover, but Castle Combe's charm is unmatched. The surprising lack of tourist shops and rows of 17th century stone brick cottages give the place a real lived-in feel. Although you will probably spot a few tourists, It is considered England's prettiest village, so it's firmly on the tourist trail for good reason. Wander through the surrounding woodlands, and be sure to take a snap of the storybook cottages from the bridge over the River Bybrook. Edinburgh, Scotland. The Scottish capital is one of the UK's and arguably Europe's best cities. Rich pre-Roman history, more charming old pubs than you can handle, and a medieval atmosphere that can't be replicated. Edinburgh Castle, the hilltop fortress, sat high atop the 700-million-year-old extinct volcano known as Castle Rock. The old streets of the Royal Mile and the world-class Royal Botanic Garden barely scratch the surface of what makes Edinburgh so darn great. Cambridge, England. This picturesque university town, for its academic history, boasts much more than one of the world's most famous universities. In addition to a rich scholastic past and present, you'll be met with architecture that is sure to take your breath away. Whether you plan to stroll the city on foot, wander the picturesque gardens, or tour the famous Fitzwilliam Museum, you'll definitely get lost in the charm of this medieval city. Pembrokeshire Coast, Wales. There are few places in the UK more spellbinding than the Pembrokeshire Coast. The craggy and dramatic coastal region is full of conservation areas that promise unspoilt, uncrowded beauty. Adventure seekers will love the excellent mountain biking, surfing, sailing, kayaking, and paddleboarding here, while those seeking relaxation can find it on the 70-plus beaches. You can even take the exploring to the sea and spot whales and dolphins in the wild. Bath, England. Bath, a charming Somerset dream of Georgian architecture and Roman history, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful cities in the UK. It's not hard to see why it's such a popular destination for tourists and Brits alike. The ancient Roman city is mainly known for its elaborate ancient baths, for which the city was named. Thanks to this, it's a perfect spa retreat. The Lake District, England. The Lake District is truly an English gem for its wealth of natural beauty. The vibrant food gastro scene, unique local culture, and never-ending outdoor activities. The gorgeous landscape for which the area is known has been wowing for millions of years too. In addition to the idyllic countryside, you'll find everything from ancient extinct volcanoes to 500-million-year-old rocks known as the Skiddaw Group. Snowdonia National Park, Wales. Nothing spells epic Welsh countryside like Snowdonia National Park. Prepare to be completely taken by the natural beauty that makes up this sprawling mountainous region in North Wales. Whether you wander the mighty Snowdon Mountain, for which the park is named, or brush up on Welsh history at one of the many castles, it won't be hard to see why the area is one of the most beautiful places in the UK. Isle of Skye, Scotland. Wildly beautiful and quintessentially Scottish, the Isle of Skye is a Highland knockout. It's got all the fixings of the rugged Highlands. We're talking forgotten medieval castles, sleepy fishing villages, and endless otherworldly landscapes that'll stop you in your tracks. In all of Scotland's glory, the Isle of Skye is easily the most iconic and breathtaking area of the islands. And that's saying something.